have been going through the crowd, but the Governor General just gave Stephen Harper permission to prorogue Parliament. People, the new majority in this country, are going to gather together and say, we want a government that's going to work for the people of this country. In Halifax, in Charlottetown, in our millions, we have one message, and that is, make Parliament work. Dear friends, we need to realize the enormity of what is happening today. What is happening today? That for the first time of the history of Canada, the Prime Minister of Canada is running away from the Parliament of Canada. Yes.
Everywhere I go, I hear people saying, I'm part of the 62% majority. Well, I want to tell you, I'm part of that 62% majority.
Stephen Harper s'est comporté comme un incendiaire simplement pour sauver sa peau. Oui. De plus en plus de voix s'élèvent au Québec et au Canada, la société civile et la population, pour condamner l'attitude de Stephen Harper et appuyer la formation d'un nouveau gouvernement.
Recession, at the time when Canadians are losing their jobs and their savings. Don't you think that your members of Parliament were right to say no to the plan that Stephen Harper was proposing?
You know, it's time to do politics differently in this country. We've watched for years as the majority of Canadians come out and vote and do not see their wishes represented in the House of Commons. We're on the cusp of a movement here, and I call upon all of you to not give up 1 second. Do not despair. Grab a hold of your efforts and your ideas and your principles and your idealism and drive it forward to create a movement for a new government in Canada and a new era.
For 1 week, just to save his job, Stephen Harper has been a practitioner of the worst and dangerous politics, the politics of fear, division, and lies. Sometimes you can fool all the people. Some people you can fool all the time. but who can fool all the people all the time.
Locks on the doors that our Prime Minister should be thinking about are the ones that are being put on the pulp mills and the paper mills of Northern Ontario. On the locks on the doors of the auto parts factories that are being shut down across our country. On the locks being put on the doors of the homes of people who can no longer afford to pay for the housing that they need for their families. Those are the locks our Prime Minister should be concerned about. But you know something? It turns out he cares more about his job than he does about your jobs.
We need to work together, and it's for Stephen Harper to understand it at last, because up to now, he did nothing for that. Up to now, he did the contrary. Up to now, he attacked our economy. Up to now, he has been indifferent to our families and our workers. We need a coalition. This is important for Canada, from coast to coast to coast.
And to make sure that you won't be able to govern neither Quebec or Canada anymore.
I don't believe, no matter how many locks Stephen Harper tries to put on the doors of the House of Commons to save his job, that the 62% are going to be silenced. I think they will speak out louder than ever before.
Unfortunately, I didn't get that, but Gilles said he would not support an investigation into 9/11 at all. Jack? Jack. Is the coalition willing to stop the SDP agenda?
That's big on our agenda.
Okay, and what about a new investigation? I know you're hesitant to talk about that during the election. Would you be willing to look at 9/11 again? Because that's what's driving the Afghan.
Oh yeah, well it's not in the coalition agreement at the moment.
Okay. Are you willing to listen?
Thank you for coming!
Always open to ideas.
Gilles, please look into 9/11. It was an inside job. The evidence does support it.
Democracy. You know, if you look at the history of this country, people fought for responsible government so that members of parliament who are duly elected can be heard and be represented in the House of Commons. Not only has he taken what people have fought for and tossed it aside, Mr. Harper has tossed aside responsible government. What he's done is he's shut off the voice of Canadians until the end of January. And I guess right now it's important for Canadians to tell the Conservatives that you can't do that. You can't take democracy and throw it off the table for your own political gain. And be clear, that's what this is about. When political parties as diverse as the Bloc Quebecois, the Liberal Party, the NDP, come together to work together, put the interests of Canadians first, and put aside partisanship. He's decided to ignore that, and when the rest of the world is working together, he's decided that he'd rather see people divided. And I guess citizens today have expressed that they don't want that, and they're not going to have that, and it's up to members of Parliament to stick together.
So we think the coalition will hold?
I think, you know, I think that's the equation. I think that every ad that people hear should be a glue that binds us together. That every time we hear them trying to divide us, be it regionally or be it based on parties, we should take each word that they express in a negative fashion and use it to bind us together as glue, as political glue to keep this coalition together. Because at the end of the day, you're right, they're going to have more money to throw at ads, they're going to have every trick in the book, dirty tricks. They've tapped people's phone lines. They've they've lied to the public. They've said that, you know, we didn't have Canadian flags at the signing ceremony when we did. This is our Prime Minister saying this. So he's not only tried to divide us, but he's undermined the office of Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is the first amongst equals. He's trying to put himself above Canadians, he's trying to put himself above Parliament, and that's not what our democracy is about. That's not what our system's about. It's about time that he learned that lesson. The citizens are going to teach it to him, and we're going to support citizens.
The SPP, do you think the coalition can stop the SPP?
Well, we're going to do everything we can.
Paul, did you get a chance to look at that DVD I gave you on Sterling? Other members of Truth gave you?
Yep.
You support a new Canadian investigation into 9/11? Well, you have to put facts on the table, and if there's facts that haven't been clearly laid out for Canadians, they need to be.
What do you think about? Because you said if the evidence hadn't been presented to the Canadian people.
I'm working on this right now. That's the main.
Okay, but do you agree that the evidence hasn't been presented? We need to look into this.